Assalamu alaikum viewers. Today I'm outside Natural History Museum, London, which exhibits a vast range of specimens from various segments of natural history. The museum is home to life and earth-size specimens comprising some 80 million items within five main collections: botany, entomology, mineralogy, paleontology, and zoology. This museum is a center of research specializing in taxonomy, identification, and conservation. London Natural History Museum has undergone a major revamp with a blue whale skeleton now forming the main exhibits as visitors come through the front door. The marine mammal replaces the much-loved Diplodocus dinosaurs DP, which will soon head out on the tour. Given the age of the institution, many of the collections have great historical as well as scientific value, such as specimens collected by Charles Darwin. Hintze Hall is the gateway to the museum's collections and galleries. Walk beneath the largest animal on Earth and explore dozens of other exhibits representing 4.5 billion years of natural history. Inside it, you can wander among meteorites, mammals, fish, birds, minerals, plants, and insects, and hear stories about the people whose work and ideas have shaped the museum. 10 star specimens are arranged in the Hintze Hall, known as Wonder Bays, including 4.5 billion years old meteorite, a Mantellisaurus, dinosaur skeleton, giraffes, and blue marlin. Sir Michael Dixon, Director of Natural History Museum, said, "This is a landmark moment for the museum and for millions of people from all over the world who visit us. This transformation of Hintze Hall represents a new era for us as a natural history museum for the future, putting our blue whale Hope at the center of the museum between living species on the west and extinct species on the east. It is a powerful reminder of the fragility of life and a responsibility we have towards our planet. It is within the grasp of humanity to shape a future that is sustainable, and now more than ever, we want our galleries and exhibition to inspire a love of natural world and our scientific expertise to inform solutions to the big global challenges we face. The relaunch of Hintze Hall is the first major moment in decade of transformation that will see the museum ambitiously redevelop its outside space and make the collection accessible to people all over the UK and globally through tours. And the Natural History Museum is both a world-leading science research center and the most visited natural history museum in Europe, with a vision of a future in which both people and the planet thrive. It is uniquely positioned to be powerful champion for balancing humanity needs with those of the natural world. It is custodian of one of the world's most important scientific collections comprising over 80 million species. The scale of this collection enables researchers from all over the world to document how species have and continue to respond to environmental changes, which is vital in helping predict what might happen in future, informing future policies and plans to help the planet. Museum's 300 scientists continue to represent one of the largest groups in the world, studying and enabling research into every aspect of the natural world. Their science is contributing critical data to help the global fight to save the future of the planet from the major threats of climate change and biodiversity loss through to finding solutions such as the sustainable extraction of nature resources. The museum uses its enormous global reach and influence to meet its mission to create, advocate for the planet, to inform, inspire, and empower everyone to make a difference for the nature. I must explain that all these animals are real, and most of them had died of old age before being donated by different zoos. And these animals are been preserved by a process called taxidermy. Taxidermy is the art of preserving an animal's body via mounting or stuffing for the purpose of display or study. Animals are often, but not always, portrayed in a lifelike state. Taxidermy is practiced primarily on vertebrates, but can also be done to larger insects and arachnids under some circumstances. Taxidermy takes on a number of forms and purposes, including hunting trophies and natural history museums displays. Museums use taxidermy as method to record species, including those that are extinct and threatened, in the form of studied skins and life-size mounts. Taxidermy is sometimes also used as a means to memorize pets. In this process, animal is first skinned in a process similar to removing the skin from a chicken prior to cooking. And this can be accomplished without opening the body cavity, so the taxidermist usually does not see internal organs or blood. Depending on the type of skin, preserving chemicals are applied or the skin is tanned. It is then either mounted on a mannequin made from wood, wool, and wire, or a polyurethane foam. Clay is used to install glass eyes and can also be used for facial features like cheekbones and prominent brow bone. Modeling clay can be used to reform features as well. If the appendage was torn or damaged, clay it can hold it together and add muscle detail. Forms and eyes are commercially available from the number of suppliers. If not, taxidermists carve or cast their own forms. Animal specimens can be frozen, then thawed at a later date to be skinned and tanned. Numerous measurements are taken of the body. A traditional method that remains popular today involves retaining the original skulls and leg bones of a specimen and using these as the basis to create mannequin made primarily from wood wool. Tow or hemp wool was used. The galvanized wire. Another method is to mold a carcass in plaster and then make a copy of the animal using one of the several methods. A final mold is then made of polyester resin and a glass cloth from which a polyurethane foam is made for final production. The carcass is then removed and the mold is used to produce a cast of animal called a form. Forms can also be made by sculpting the animals first in clay. Many companies produce stock forms in various sizes. An increasingly popular trend is to freeze dry the animal. For all intents and purposes, a freeze-dried mount is a mummified animal. The internal organs are removed during preparation, however, all other tissues remain in the body. The animal is positioned into the desired pose, then placed into the chamber of a special freeze-dry machine designed specifically for this application. The machine freezes the animal and also creates a vacuum in the chamber. Pressure in the chamber helps vaporize moisture in the animal's body, allowing it to dry out. The length of the dry time is important because rapid freezing creates less tissue distortion. The process can be done with the reptiles, birds, and small mammals such as cats, rodents, and some dogs. Large specimens may require up to 6 months in the dryer before they are completely dry. Freeze drying is the most popular type of the pet preservation. This is because it is the least invasive in terms of what's done to the animal's body after death, which is a concern of owners. In case of large pets such as dog and cats, freeze drying is also the best way to capture the animal's expression as it looked in life. Some methods of creating a trophy mount do not involve preserving the actual body of the animals. Instead, detailed photos and measurements are taken of the animals so a taxidermist can create an exact replica in resin or fiberglass that can be displayed in place of the real animal. No animals are killed in the creation of this type of trophy mount. One situation where this is practiced is in the world of sport fishing, where catch and release is becoming increasingly prevalent. Reproduction mounts are commonly created for trout, bass, and large saltwater species such as swordfish and blue marlin. Another situation where reproduction trophies are created is when endangered species are involved. Endangered and protected species such as the rhinoceros are hunted with rifles loaded with tranquilizer darts rather than real bullets. While the animal is unconscious, the hunter poses for photos with the animal while it is measured for the purpose of creating a replica or to establish what size of a prefabricated fiberglass trophy a head can be purchased to most closely approximate the actual animal. The darted animal is not harmed. The hunter then displays the fiberglass head on the wall in lieu of the real animal's head to commemorate the experience of the hunt. The first evidence for life on Earth suggests it began around 3.5 billion years ago. Fossils are the Natural History Museum trace the evolution of life from small and humble beginning through the evolution in shape, size, and habitat right up to fossils that can still yield DNA. The geographic, stratigraphic, and historical coverage of the 7 million vertebrate, invertebrate, and plants fossils in the museum's paleontology collection make it globally important, which include fossil fish collection, crocodilomorph and early archosaur collections, lepidosaur collection, marine reptile collection, dinosaur collection, fossil mammals collections, fossil bird collections, fossil amphibian collections, and pterosaur collection, which make it very important for the research in vertebrates and invertebrates around the world. The huge glass cabinets on Hintze Hall in the Natural History Museum of London balcony showcase nature's incredible diversity. Get a closer look at the specimens displayed there. In Natural History Museum London, approximately 10 million specimens make up the collection of Petra, the taxonomic order that includes all beetle species. About 2,000 to 3,000 new specimens are added each year, and the collection spans over 3 centuries with 195,000 species represented. The individual specimens in the collection date to the 19th century and were used to describe the name their species. You can find all the species of beetles, flies, and butterflies in just one cabinet in one of the balcony of the Hintze Hall. Coming up is the Hall of Birds, where you can have rare opportunity to get up close with hundreds of species of birds. Ornithology, the study of birds, is one of the founding disciplines of Natural History Museum. At the core of the program is a research collection of 121,000 bird specimens representing over 54,000 species. From the familiar residents of our gardens to the colorful inhabitants of far-off tropical lands, birds are all around us. They live on every continent and in every type of habitat and can be as different as hummingbird to the ostrich. Around 10,000 species currently live worldwide, each with their own characteristics and behavior. This gallery contains just a fraction of the bird specimens in Natural History Museum world-class collections. The research collections hold close to 1 million specimens, representing more than 95% of the world's known bird species. In this gallery, the replica of first known specimen at 150 million years old can be seen alongside modern birds. When observing the specimens side by side, their similarities, such as their feathered wings, become clear, as do their differences, such as the long bony tail and the clawed forearms of Archaeopteryx. Although most of the bird skins date from the 1800 and 1900, the new unprepared specimens are periodically donated to the museum by the bird watchers. Unlike mounted birds that are displayed in the museum galleries, which are placed in a variety of lifelike poses, the bird skins have a standard pose. They are prepared to resemble a freshly dead bird lying in a flat position. This makes it easy to handle and store them and to see all the characteristics. Coming up is the Dinosaurs Gallery. The museum's dinosaurs are world famous. Meet the roaring T-Rex. See the skull of Triceratops and wander among fossils in Dinosaurs Gallery. Explore the different time periods dinosaurs lived, sort the facts from the myth about why they died out, and find out what are the scientific research has taught us about these prehistoric giants. The star specimens and exhibits include part of the first Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton ever discovered, one of the largest carnivores ever to have walked the earth, the first skeleton of Iguanodon known to the science, one of the species used to describe the concept of dinosaurs, the skull of plant-eating Triceratops, the gigantic armored dinosaurs Scolosaurus, the animatronic roaring Tyrannosaurus Rex was a hit of the show, and the room is fairly dark. The entire Dinosaurs Gallery is, and the T-Rex can be quite scary for the young children, but not for me. As you can see, I was so close to it. But I made sure that he could not reach to me after all. He's a dinosaurs. This could be the last time you're seeing this gallery, because declaring a planetary emergency, London's Natural History Museum has announced an update mission to create advocates for the planet and to find solutions for climate instability and biodiversity loss. And as it turns out, a new state-of-the-art Dinosaurs Gallery is part of the plan. Children are the future stewards and the custodians of our planet, so helping them to understand the challenges of future is one of the museum's most important role. Officials said in press release, no other creature thrills, fascinate and engage children with the natural world quite like dinosaur. I would suggest if you're planning to see the Dinosaur Gallery, make this your first stop at the Natural History Museum, as it is one of the most popular area. In the end, you can visit Natural History Museum shops, uh, which include fabulous fashion and jewelry, absorbing books and kitchen and home where children can enjoy the collection of fun and educational toys and games. Dinosaur is dedicated to the prehistoric things. You can pick a souvenir from here of your choice. And that was it for today. Thanks for watching my channel. Please subscribe for my latest videos. Thank you. Bye.